John Gordon here, Gordon's Garage, working for Never Satisfied today. Custom C10 in here today. Cody, what year is this?
This is a 1970.
1970 custom C10. And apparently this is a highly optioned truck. It's got AC and all that.
It was a factory ordered truck. Factory ordered.
Factory ordered, highly optioned. Okay. So anyway, it's been lowered, as you can see. Original 350 in it. We did swap out the intake carburetor, changed it to ATI ignition, but we have a little tap in it. And we went through and adjusted all the rockers, but we still have a little tap.
Power steering, air conditioning, disc brake truck.
Power steering, air conditioned, disc brake truck. So I've removed the belts thinking maybe that was our tick because it had old belts on it still, but no, we still have a tap. So we are going to pull the timing chain off and replace it because I've found that it has a lot of slop in it. And I'll show you how you can tell if your timing chain is wore out on one of these. All right. Here's how you're going to test your timing chain blade on a small block Chevrolet or really any vehicle, but you can look here. Here's your rotor under your distributor. It's going to hook to your camshaft, and through the chain will hook to your crankshaft. So I'm going to turn the crankshaft, and if that chain is any good, the rotor should pretty much turn with the crankshaft here. So here it goes. Now I've turned that crankshaft probably a good 1.5 inches before the rotor actually moved. That is a strong indicator that your timing chain has too much slop in it. Let me make a mark here. Let's make a mark here on the crankshaft pulley and see how far that mark goes before that rotor button actually turns. So if you watch the mark, I'll watch the rotor button. Ready? Rotor button just moved. From there to there, it took for that chain, for it to pull the slop out of the chain and move the camshaft. Does everybody understand? So needless to say, we're going to pull the timing chain out of this thing and put a new one in it. All right, so we're down to the timing chain, and look at this. Look how much slop is in that. So that's the tap we were hearing. See these old. Well, I'll show you when I get it all the way off.
That thing's got more play than Tom Brady.
Okay, so here's what, and a lot of you guys already know this, but here's what happens with these old chains. You can tell it's original factory because GM was putting nylon teeth over the aluminum, and what happens over the years is those nylon teeth get hot and brittle and they break. I guess GM didn't, and look at that, it almost was about to slip Tom. I'm surprised it didn't jump Tom.
That's my tooth gauge.
But GM did that to try to quieten the engines down a little bit.
If she's got that many teeth or less, she's going to the trailer park. That's my tooth gauge.
Okay, 70 C10. We got it all back together. We got the new timing chain in there, and we're just about to do a cold start on it and get the timing set and see if the tapping noise is gone. All right, here we go. Cold start, new timing chain. Maybe everything is right and it will just start. We'll have to let the choke run its course and set to cold, hot idle before we can set the timing. Sounds good though. Tapping noise is already gone. Where's the timing light? So this is a 350 Chevy. I think, how long did this thing sit? It probably sit for about 20 years. Who knows? You know, we got it running and everything. And it might have been sitting longer than that, but you know, I know everybody does these will it start videos now. And I mean, quite frankly, we do that every week around this shop. And it's just getting old and boring. So we're not going to go through that whole video anymore.
Unless it comes out like this.
Yeah, unless it comes out like that. See that piston there?
That probably will not start, guys.
This is the wrist pin, but this is the rod bearing. So the rod bearing came all the way up and wrapped around the wrist pin.
This thing wraps around harder than a Democrat wraps around the Senate.
But anyway, so we're going to set the timing on this thing up and get it running perfect, which it's already running pretty nice now. There it is, low idle. Tap is already gone. The timing is probably within just a few degrees. So I mean, these old Chevrolet motors, you can take them and they'll be sitting 30 years, 20 years, whatever. Usually you can get them running. And sometimes you'll run across a bad timing chain and gear like that that'll throw them off. But you get the timing chain, you get the valve train right, and the timing right, and the carburation right, these things will run all day.
Like a relationship, you know, the key to long relationship is communication. Well, the key to a long motor is changing their oil.
Yeah.
A little different, but it's the same process.
Okay, so this thing with the new timing chain, it sounds really awesome. I mean, there's no engine noise. I mean, it's running perfectly. It's at 700 RPM basically, and then we got the timing set at 6 degrees, and that's about what a small block Chevy needs to be at. So this thing is done, and it's going to ship. It's already sold. It's a really nice C10. You doing the headliner in it? Are y'all doing the headliner? No. Oh. But these trucks aren't that complicated, but they're what's hot right now. So get out there and hunt them down, buy them, drive them. So here's the timing chain, and well, here's the chain. The chain is not really what wears out, although it can get some wear. But if you notice this old gear, even it had nylon teeth on it, and it still has some of the nylon teeth over the aluminum, but even the aluminum gearing had wore down. Look at that. I mean, I'm really surprised that it did not jump time. It was getting close. See, the crankshaft gear is still, so it's okay. It wasn't worn. I mean, you know, technically it has wear on it, but that would have kept on, that would have lasted. But the camshaft gear, nope. Hey.
What's up?
Hey, thanks for watching. We really appreciate you.
The tens of two of y'all.
What'd you say?
The tens of two of the people that's watching.
Oh, the tens of the two?
Yeah, the tens of the two.
Okay.